Today I'm going to go through my process for harvesting softwood trees from start to finish so that I can get it to a log that I can use to build infrastructure over here. I started 5 years ago with a goal to have a hobby farm in the woods over here, and I don't have a lot of money to go into it, and so when you don't have a lot of money you have to put in a lot of labor. And so it's a fairly labor-intensive process that I go through for harvesting my softwood. Looks to be leaning this way, but I'd like it to go more in this direction. So I'm going to try notching it that way. Next, you want to cut any rot that's down here. On this tree there's none, so I just want to make a clean cut back here at the base. After this, I'm going to take all the limbs off it, and then we'll look at how straight a log we have. Got a crook in the log right up here, so that's where I can stop my limbing. I'm going to take back my ribbon here next. I always do this. It adds up over time to a lot of plastic, and so if I can reuse these, I always do. Okay, it's going to be hard to see in the camera, but there's a bend right here that happens on this log, and so that's going to make it easy for us. If we've got a good length here of 8 feet, comes right to this spot, and then you always allow a few inches more, so rather than 96 inches I'll come to say 100, and we'll mark it there and then cut our first length of this log. Going to give me a really solid 8-foot post for something. Now I'm going to measure up my next length. Got another section here that's potentially straight for 16 feet. So I'll come up just a few more inches higher again and cut off this length. This Fisker's axe is not really the best tool for this job. But next I would like to get the bark off of my logs right away. If you do this right after you take your tree down, while it's green, the bark peels away quite easy. The longer you let these logs sit, the harder this becomes. So I don't always get this step done on time, just because it does take a while to do it. But if possible, skin your logs right away. Next step is to haul our logs out of the woods. This one's 22 feet long and 11-inch diameter down here at the base. It's the biggest log that I cut down last season for softwoods. And we're going to hook this up to the trailer here. I've just got to figure out how. I've got the fat end here, so it's less likely for my chain to slide off. Here's a couple of the buildings that I put together out of logs so far. So down here I sort my logs into different lengths. These are my longer, thinner ones. I might be able to use those on my greenhouse this summer to finish off the back of it. Here's a pile of maybe 12-foot lengths here. And over here some of my shorter lengths, maybe 8 feet or 10. And then we get into the firewood back there. Okay, I got some catching up to do to skin some of these logs, and then I'm going to chop them into the final usable length, somewhere between 8, 10, 12, or 16 feet generally. And from there I'll pile them up on runners to keep them off the ground so that they don't rot. And finally I'll find some kind of project to use them on and try to continue to improve our infrastructure over here over time. Thanks everybody for watching. Like and subscribe to the channel, much appreciated.